Hello guys, welcome back to another episode of Jan's on Tour. It is our annual season review from myself, Rich and Sean. So obviously yesterday, the not great news of us finally going down back to League One after 2 seasons in the Championship have been confirmed. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how we felt the season went as a whole, where we think it went wrong, and where we think what we need to do now in terms of moving forward. So there's a lot to talk about, isn't there?
Yeah, guys? And our favourite player of the season, favourite moment of the season.
We'll talk about that too. So there's a lot to unpack, isn't there, in this one. We thought we'd do it, fresh from the season ending before we sign off for the summer holidays. Yeah. So we need to revert our minds back all the way almost to a year ago. If we don't forget, it was last May that we made our appointment. We just stayed up on the last day of the season, a year ago today, which was a great achievement.
It was a massive achievement.
It was what we were aiming for. And there was just going to be a big speculation about who we were going to get as manager. And at the end of May, I think it was the 25th of May or something like that.
26.
There you go, look, Shawnee's on it. Wayne Rooney was announced as head coach, and obviously a lot of eyebrows were raised.
Major.
What did you think at that moment, Rich?
When Wayne Rooney came in, I was deputy at the time. Mm-hmm. We got a big rector with Birmingham and that, so I wasn't too sure at the time. Mm-hmm. But when we met him personally at Royal Theatre, we met Wayne Rooney. I not only met him one time, but Sam and Son met him a few times.
Yeah.
And he was such a loving man.
Yeah, he is. He's a nice guy, and I think we'll get into that. But did you not worry, Sean, about his record before when we signed him? Or did you think that maybe he could have done a good job at Argyle?
Yeah, I thought he could have had a clean slate.
Yeah, maybe. I think that was, we were all willing to give him a go. Yeah. I, for one, was sort of in the middle. I did think it was a PR stunt, and I still think it is now. And people might disagree with me, but I do think Hallett signed him for that reason. I don't think you can look at his stats and say they were, that is a reason to sign him.
Nah, and I believe a lot of fans believe what you believe, Sam, I believe.
And for me, at that point of signing him, I was just, my view was that if we could stay up like we did last season, or maybe improve by a couple of places, but I think Rooney's aim was as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, and Sam Hallett wanted to get to about 15th in the table.
Which I don't know was realistic, because if we go on to now the budget, recruitment over the summer, for me, I don't think the recruitment was brilliant, if I'm being honest.
In the summer, no. We had so many players that not used to English football is one thing.
Who do you name?
DeSoto. He done with a lot of bonuses.
Yeah.
And then as the time got on, about I think it was September, October, stopped playing for us, apparently had an injury.
Yeah, and likes of Better as well.
Yeah.
Not a great signing. TJ has come on recently, but, injury didn't really, it took him a while to get used to the league.
It missed about 85% of the season being out injured.
Femi as well. I think
that one backfired.
Paulson, but he did improve later on, which we'll get into. So for me, the recruitment wasn't brilliant to start with, and I think that did put us on the back foot. So
and selling Michael Cooper in the summer as well.
Michael Cooper going, the club letting his contract run, and again we'll talk about the club letting people's contracts run, because there's a bit of a danger coming, in the next few weeks with that too. So the season started, and I think it got off to the worst possible start in my eyes. We had that 4-0 loss at Sheffield Wednesday, and I think that set the precedent for how our away form and how our mentality away. It never improved after that, did it?
It never improved. We done a bit away from home.
It was the worst start possible for Rooney. He needed to, because of his reputation, have a decent start, and not just I could take losing, but the way we lost that game was the worst start, wasn't it?
For us, there wasn't nothing. We done nothing in that match at all.
No, and
we got a lot by more.
And the media then was straight on him. The pressure then was instant. So it wasn't great. Then we played Hull at home and obviously drew 1-1, which
Rooney first, Lee Matt at home.
At home, which again wasn't, brilliant result, is it, really?
It wasn't a brilliant result, but we had more chances. We bore ourselves a bit more, but
those are the games you have to win, really.
Yeah,
Look back at it now.
And then the sort of match we sort of won.
Yeah, and then we had next
QPR, the 1-1 draw. Yeah. 2 sending off. And Morgan Witters a draw 1 through Jones this season, a wonder.
That's right, we'll get into him in a bit as well. Yeah. So we had QPR, so again, 3 games without a win. Then we lost at home to Stoke. Again, these are games that you need to be winning. From then on, we started to show a bit of character. So the Sunderland game at home, I think it was, and you might know, Rich, but we came from behind, 5 times in the 90th minute under Rooney?
Yeah. I think it was more than that with Rooney at home.
It was quite a few instances, which showed a lot of character, which we were starting to see, and we were starting to think, actually, maybe now we're starting to sort of build something.
Yeah, and that Sunderland match, what a massive boost for at that time.
Yeah, and
then basically being 2-1 down, And then with the last few minutes, we ended up doing 2 late goals to get us to win in the end.
Is it? And we did a very similar thing against Blackburn as well, scoring the winner right at the end, and also beating Luton 3-1. We started to improve at home, didn't we?
Yeah, and then we played back in Rover before the international break in October, and then all suddenly
Collapsed.
something went mentally wrong with Argyle.
So 5-0 away at Cardiff. Sean, you went to that one, didn't you? Yeah, I think that was one of the worst ones. We lost to Millwall away. We were 3-0 down to press, and again we showed some character and came back. But you should never be in that position to start.
Never
with.
in that position. No.
At that point, we were looking pretty.
And then we played at Leeds United.
And we lost 3-0 to them.
And we never even touched them. We got nowhere near them in the whole 90 minutes.
That's it. Then we had November, and we scraped past Portsmouth on bonfire night. It wasn't a great night really, but we did what we needed to do, and we thought, okay, home form is the thing that we need to galvanise here. And I think the difference between this season and last season is that last season we were very, very consistent at home.
Yeah.
And if you're as bad as you are, as we were away from home, your home record has to be pretty much spot on.
And before the last dozen matches, we were down to 21st at home, and that was way below target for at home.
We lost too many points at home. I mean, a point away at Derby was okay.
Derby, that.
You went to that one as well, didn't you? Yeah.
And we got back to that day, didn't we? But we just managed to just get a point.
And then again, Watford at home, again, another 90th minute plus goal.
96 minutes. Yeah.
So we were showing character, but the problem was we were getting too many draws. If those draws could have been turned into wins and we'd started games earlier, then we'd be in a very different position.
Very different, yeah.
So that wasn't great. So what month are we in now? The end of November.
And then we got our biggest hammering of the season.
6-1 again at Norwich. Then we lost 4-0 away at Bristol. We lost 2-1 at home to Swansea. 2-0 away at Sheffield. We drew 3-3 at Borough. And then 4-0 at Coventry. Now,
saw another match.
So this for me is the key part of the season, where a lot of fans said this is when maybe Rooney should have gone. What do you think, Rich? What game would you have sacked him in that month to maybe...
For me, I reckon it was between Norwich and Bristol City.
You think maybe after Bristol City?
I thought after that you could tell if something wasn't working there.
Away from home, the mentality was just poor.
And where's it? One minute before... there was something I'll find out. What was it? Now, after Bumpy, we never won...
For a very long time.
In about 15 matches.
Yeah. And I think that is too long to go without a win, isn't it?
Yeah.
And has eventually cost us. So for me, I think he probably should have gone after that Bristol City game. How many goals we conceded? 10 goals in 2 games conceded away, none scored.
In that period of time, yeah.
I think enough was enough then. But unfortunately, the club obviously stuck with him.
And then we played Swansea City, who at the time wasn't spectacular, but we never attacked them enough. We never done enough attacking them in that closing moment.
That's it. And then obviously lose to Oxford away. That was what finally did it for Rooney.
Because Oxford were...
Oxford were in trouble too at that point. And I think, a very strange time, New Year's Eve, isn't it, to sack someone. And it sort of left us in a bit of like a limbo then. And for me at that point, I sort of thought this is going to be too much now to turn this around.
Yeah,
the damage is done. But, at least they did pull the trigger.
Even if someone had it, I believe didn't want to do it at the time.
And then we had obviously...
And one other thing with Wayne, after Wayne when he left Argyle, he never did no money from Argyle.
Well, that is one big thing, you've got to give him credit for that. He knew the situation, and I think, if you're in his shoes, you're going to want to take the job and prove yourself, but I think it was too much.
Way too much at the time, yeah.
And for me, I think going into the season, we knew it was going to be tough, and I think even without Rooney, it would have been tough, but with his record, I just don't think he was the right person to manage that.
No.
So we'll go on to obviously what happened next.
And then Joey Effort over 2 matches.
Nansen Edwards, a 2-2 draw against Bristol, and then a 0-0 away at Stoke, which, good results.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bristol City, we could have won that one. They've ended up in the playoffs now, haven't they? So,
And took City with a well-deserved all-working point.
Exactly. So we did well. And then the final game before music took over. Brentford away in the FA Cup. What a day. What a result for the club.
And the day that Mutlett, what if first matter
Some people will go on to this again, will say that the FA Cup run was a bit of maybe a catalyst for us going down as well. Didn't help.
No.
I don't quite agree with that. I think, if anything, it maybe galvanised us at times. We'll talk about that in a minute. But then his first match was against Oxford, at home. Yeah. Again, a 1-1 draw. You look at that one, it was his first game, so he didn't have hardly any time to do anything with the squad. But it's a game that on paper you want to be winning.
Yeah, and thank the Channel Tim's on the end for saving her losing.
Well, yeah. And then that fateful night, the 22nd of January, Burnley at home. We all know what happened there. 5-0.
It went embarrassing.
The Dave Whittaker allegedly refused to play, and I just think the players knew that, and I think the thing was in their heads, wasn't it?
Right before Ditto, yeah, too much with Morgan wanted to leave. And me, I'm a big fan of Morgan Whittaker. As you both know.
On him, do you think if he had stayed, do you think that would have made a difference?
No, I don't. Not with the way they play football, no.
No? I mean, he was up and down, wasn't he? He scored some good goals, but...
Yeah.
So you don't think him going really affected the squad and diminished our squad?
Only when it did, and it opened up for somebody else to get him, but we talk about him in a minute.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, it was a loss at the time, but and then you sort of started to see results, from music improving a bit. So 2-2 away at Sunderland.
A 90th minute equaliser.
So again, showing a bit of character. 2-1 win against West Brom. So things are turning around, but for me, it's all a bit too late, isn't it?
It was. You could tell it in February now, and we were still behind.
Yeah, and then arguably one of the most historic days in our recent history, the 9th of February, Liverpool at home, a game that was a bit of a free hit for us.
Yeah.
Some people still say, well, it wasn't their top squad. I don't care. Any Liverpool side should be beating us, to be honest.
Yeah.
And we ended up winning 1-0, and we're going to remember that day. It'll be down forever, aren't we?
And don't forget Liverpool over £100 million worth of talent on the pitch that day.
Yeah, Sean, for you, was that your favourite day?
Yeah.
Your moment of the season? Yeah?
One of my moments.
One of them. It was good, and a lot of people might say, wow, it took away from the league and it knackered us out, but I don't know. I think you're going to look back at that one in 30 years and think, look, you were there when we beat Liverpool.
Yeah.
By then you would have hoped we would have gone up again by then and up and down.
For me, I went to the FA Cup one with trying to give us the confidence. I felt the team needed the confidence.
And I think it did give us, because look, a couple of days later, what happened?
We got our win of the season.
We beat Millwall 5-1.
So I've been 6 or 7 that day.
And you were finally thinking at that point, actually, there is a chance maybe now. Like, our home form has picked up, and we're turning draws into wins.
Yeah.
Actually, some of the players that weren't playing great before, Paulson, Obeta, Bundu, they're all starting to play a little bit better. Pleggy, they all improved under Music, and that for me is a big testament to him in terms of how he's able to coach players. That a little bit extra quality over Rudy. So at that point in the season, I think we were all slowly, I was anyway, starting to think, maybe we could get out of this.
And then we hit one below her, away form, done back and bite her.
It did. So go on, Rich, what happened next?
We lost 2-0 away to Blackburn, and we were poor apparently that day. We never done nothing against Blackburn. And then Adam Forster, who haven't done for in 2 seasons, and it doing them a 38 2.
That's it. And I think February is the month that killed us a bit. So you look at that, Luton away 1-1.
And we got punished by what I was on the foot yesterday. Dangerous referee indecision.
Yeah, a goal that wasn't offside.
We're never offside now.
You don't know that we would have won that game, but it would have definitely put us in a better position to win that game. Yeah. So that was that. What's that one, Sean?
That Luton one, Callum White.
That's what I mean. Yeah, that's what we're saying. And then again, Cardiff at home. So they took the lead, I believe.
Oh, Wody.
Yeah, and then we got back into it, and they had a red card. Now that game was just, I've never seen such a. I'm so glad they went down because of this. And if any Cardiff fans watching, sorry, but I think for me that was the worst side I've seen at home park this season.
With feigning injury.
Yeah. So.
And then we had 14-minute injury time. And we never took the 30 we were injured. We never done nothing. 14-minute injury time.
Those 2 games there for me. If we'd got wins out of that, well, we would have stayed up, wouldn't we? But I think those were killers. Then you went up on the 1st of March to Man City away. Took the lead. Must have been a great moment for you.
Amazing.
Especially having our foot away to on the foot as well.
Yeah. Was that your moment of the season?
Seeing Maxi doing that goal for 7 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, you were living the team. I thought
having the lead at.
I thought, damn, we actually bore a bit of suck.
Yeah. So that was a good day out for you, obviously. But then the results, they just dried up, didn't they?
Yeah.
Losing away at Hull 2-0 again. That now is a
shocking performance. And another referee too as well on that one. That offside apparently.
Losing 3-0 at home to Plymouth, to Sheffield Wednesday. Again, the home results, they needed to be there, didn't they?
And that was an embarrassment performance. Even by Mufflet down that time, that was embarrassing. We just...
Yeah. And at that point, I think we all thought again, this is it. But as Argyle always do, they pop up with a result when...
And our first away win of the season done on the 10th of March.
2-1 away at Pompey.
And that's one of the biggest issues we had this season. We only put a 12 point away this season, and that's the biggest factor for us.
It's not good enough. And like I said before, if you're that bad away, you have to maximise your points at home, don't you?
Yeah, and then after we back Pompey,
this was the killer
that
for
was
me.
Sanla Matt for Argyle. The Derby County
This
one.
was the killer for me. 3-2 Derby, 90th minute. I think that was the one for me that was like, yeah, I just can't see us now, because we were neck and neck at that point.
Yeah.
And I think if we'd even drawn that, it would have been a lot closer, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So we weren't great that day. I think a draw probably was right, but to lose it, sucker punch.
At the time, after we returned the Joe for it, and then our defender thing took
But then again, we galvanised ourselves a little bit with a 0-0 draw away at Watford. Then we beat Norwich 1-0 at home.
2-1 at home.
2-1 at home. But then again, lack of consistency. We then go to Swansea and lose 3-0.
With no fight.
No, with no fight. And then again, it's just a funny old end to the season. We then play Sheffield United, who are hunting for top 2, and beat them 2-1. And then again, you think maybe there is a slight chance.
Yeah, and that was amazing feeling that day.
And then after that,
another what I'll be saying a lot in the last few minutes, refereeing again.
Yeah, for that penalty at the end.
For me, it's so soft, and that even looking at it, maybe more than Richard one was about it.
Yeah.
By the replay of it.
When Joe got sent off, it wasn't
and that cost us big time again. So heads down. We've then having to go into a game against Coventry and looking for playoffs, and then we go and beat him 3-1. It's frustrating.
And I think that was one of the most solid performances we've been at there. The whole level was up there all the way through.
But it's just frustrating, isn't it, that we do, because we were so inconsistent, that has put us down. And then going to Preston, winning 2-1, but unfortunately, because Luton won
earlier,
more or less down on goal difference. And that brings me to the point that conceding as many goals as we have, especially away from home, that has killed us.
Yeah, I don't know how many away goals. I think we conceded 87 away, 87 goals this season.
Something like that. And the funny thing is, we've scored the second most at home in 2025, just after Leeds. So it shows you really the chalk and cheese between our home and away form.
Yeah, and then yesterday, Lee United lost at home 2-1. That was never a 2-1 loss. And what people heard me on yesterday saying about I would never just refereeing decision. Well, my view it went 3-2 and he blew for it, and it was within 5 seconds later, we were at the bit and drew the winner. And we like to congratulate Leon winning the league title.
Well, highly deserved, brilliant team, and again, an inconsequential at the end because we were already down. If it would have been interesting to see that if we weren't, how that game would have gone.
Yeah.
You might feel a little bit more aggrieved about that, but so that was our season, and I think to sum it up, I think a slow start cost us. I think not changing things sooner cost us. I think recruitment wasn't exactly spot on.
Even though we were 2 men in January, it was better. But we were still missing a photo towards up front. We never had another attacker.
No. So it's frustrating, and it's not the end that we wanted. For me, staying up would have been brilliant. Also, I think that was the aim. We are where we are. We're going to be going into League One now. Not too sure about the future. Music, I would love him to stay. I think he's done wonders for the club. His form, the form that he got us in, is mid-table form.
Yeah, we were about 9 or 10 in the table.
Yeah, but now it's up to the club, isn't it, Rich and Sean, to back him?
Yes.
Yeah, what we were saying yesterday, the ball needed listen to movement. I told it to Andrew Patterson yesterday that we got our recruitment teams ready apparently, but I told
this is the thing.
That it wasn't.
Well, it appears that he's already gone now back home to Australia. He wants to just have some time with his family, think about things, and then obviously in a couple of weeks' time,
and I think the fans have a better decision going on. You only see your family 5 times in 4 months.
It's tricky.
Let him have his time alone with his family. Let him enjoy his time.
Exactly. And obviously the point about contracts as well. I think Bundu having his contract run out.
And that one player we were talking about.
Yeah.
Ever since Milik came in, one of the players that just out for me, Madafa Bundu.
Yeah.
And Paulson.
Yeah. And Paulson. Well, I mean, I hadn't even heard of Bundu before he signed. Really. He's become a very important player for us. So I think in League One he'd be good. Obviously got the likes of Beidou. Give him a break now, have a pre-season. Maybe we'll see, the best of him in League One.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to be easy. A lot of fans, I don't know if you want to comment. What do you expect next season? Do you really expect us to bounce straight back? I, for one, I think we're going to hopefully be in that top end, but I don't quite see us being top 2. I think playoffs I would 100% take.
Yeah.
What about you?
Mate, the top two be good, but if we top validated yesterday, Luton and
It's not going to be
Derby.
easy at all. It's not going to be easy.
And with Huddersfield already.
Huddersfield, Bolton,
Bolton.
you know, Charlton might be there if they don't win the playoffs. It's
I
not.
reckon Wigan as well on the wide
Wigan,
road.
even Blackpool, like they're good sides and good teams, and I don't think it's going to be easy. And I wouldn't expect us to walk it at all. Even Bradford coming into the league,
and Bradford City,
they're big teams. So for me, I just think we need to hold our horses to see how the summer goes. Hopefully we keep Muslett. Hopefully he gets some players in that he knows and keep some of the players that we've already got. And we just need a solid start, don't we?
We need to have a better start than last season.
We need home park to be, we need to be even more consistent there. Obviously, their away record needs to improve. And again, just because it's League One, I don't expect us to be going and winning every game away. I think we still have a mentality problem away from home that we need to sort out. So,
and with all the new players coming in as well, they need to get used to the travelling that and down the country.
Yeah, so it'll be a very, very interesting summer. The club I still feel is in good hands. The investment is hopefully coming in. It's taken a bit too long for my liking, but if they're going to do the checks and stuff, then that's fine. I hope it is true. They are being truthful, and it is going to come in.
Yeah.
If that's the case, then maybe we do have a lot to be excited about.
To have a woman that's up with what someone that's at the fan forum is hinted like he was doing the leave harder.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think people should be pushing for that. I think he's done wonders for the club. If he can get some help in, I do agree. He can't do it on his own. I think he needs some more financial help. If that can come in, we can get some more staff in to support Muslett, then why can't we have a good season?
Definitely.
Yeah.
But it would not be a walk in the park.
No,
Not one thing.
Yeah, it hurts now, but we've got 2-3 months now to sort of, get over it and hopefully learn from the mistakes we've made.
A lot of mistakes.
With our recruitment.
And a lot of mistakes in the last 18 months.
Oh, it has been, yeah.
Ever since Steven Sumak the left.
It's been tricky. So, to finish us off, guys, finish off the video.
We got a few
couple of bits. So, before we do that, let's go for our player of the season. I'm going to start with Sean first. Well, who is your player of the season, Sean?
Randall.
Adam Randall?
Yeah.
What's your reason?
He was he stepped up to the mark when he had to be captain.
Mm-hmm.
So I take that Millwall game.
Yeah.
He huddled them up. He said we had a good result on the weekend.
Yeah.
Let's just...
So you think he's grown as a leader this season?
Yes.
Yeah? Do you see him staying?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Wow. Very confident, so.
Not too sure myself in terms of League One football. It depends who comes sniffing for him, but it would be good if he stays.
Yeah.
Go on then, Rich. Who's your player of the season?
Betty.
Pluggy?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought when he done it with solid. And like my dad was bringing you up there as well, but I thought Benny defensive work were 100%.
Yeah. He's been solid, isn't
Yeah.
he? Well, to be honest, Rich, you beat me to it, but I was actually going to go with Pluggy as well. And probably not most people's choice, but yeah, I agree with Rich. I think whenever he's had to come in, he's been solid. He's been consistent. Doesn't really score many. He scored against Bristol.
Only ever do for Argyle.
But yeah, you can tell his heart's in the club, and I think he'll be a good player for us next season if he sticks around.
And we didn't sign a 2-year deal recently as well.
Then hopefully, yeah.
I reckon it should be alright.
I think he'll be a mainstay in League One, hopefully.
Yeah.
And before we go, guys, we're just going to talk about our moment of the season as well. So, again, we'll go back to Sean. What was your moment of the season?
Man City.
Yeah.
Liverpool.
No, just one, though. Got to choose one. It's cheating us.
Man City.
So, scoring at Man City.
Scoring at Man City.
Yeah, I bet. Okay, thank you, Sean. What about you, Rich?
Well, it just troubled me, but surprisingly, it's definitely not at home.
Okay.
I felt...
Still, we had that little bit of hope.
Yeah, I mean, that moment, because the last half an hour, I saw something I had not seen from my Argyle team in a long time. The fight, the commitment.
Yeah.
And we literally show if we are not 100% on our day, we don't beat anybody on our day.
Yeah, that's it. And we can. At home, we know we can.
Yeah.
It's a shame that we are so inconsistent. Because if we look at the stats, we've beaten 7 of the top 10 at home.
Yeah.
And drawn a couple others.
And
Only Burnley and Leeds we lost to.
only time we
Top
lost
2.
to. Yeah.
So
Exactly.
it says it all. So
You, Sam, what your favourite moment?
So my favourite moment probably has to be Liverpool, I think. Probably a lot of people watching this video will probably agree. I think that penalty against Liverpool, just such a great moment, really. Like, the Premier League champions, they didn't have every single one of their first team out, but at the end of the day, still Liverpool, and they still had an international worthy team out. And
Very international.
to beat them on live TV, and it's the first cup. Was it the first cup they got knocked out of after the Carabao Cup and then the FA Cup?
No, FA Cup first.
Yeah, so we were the first team to sort of knock them out or something. Yeah, it was brilliant, and it was a day that will live with me forever. Even though we initially got relegated this season, that's always going to be a top day.
Definitely
Amazing. So,
and one other thing, I don't know anybody know, but we are the only team in England that got all doing backers.
to stop them scoring against us.
Yeah.
There you go. We've got that as well, haven't we?
Yeah.
So, guys, thank you for watching the video. It's a bit of a longer one,
Oh,
but
yeah, pre-season.
we'll talk about that in a minute. Yeah, we wanted to obviously really sum up the season for you. It was a very draining, long season. I think we're all going to be happy for a bit of a rest.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
yeah.
next season, a little bit more positivity. Although we initially went down, it's been fun. There's been a lot of highs, been a lot of lows as always, but that's football, and that's why we keep coming back to it, isn't it?
Yeah. We will miss football.
Of course we do. And we've got no tournament either this summer to keep us busy, have we really?
Only the women one, but not all.
Yeah. So, in terms of going forwards, now we'll have a bit of a break. We will be looking out for the fixtures on the 26th of June. So the weekend following that, we will do a video about the fixtures, talking about how they look, talking about some key dates. I'm sure there's some that we already know are going to be key. Will we finally be home at Boxing Day?
It's been about, what is it now, 11 years?
It's my birthday as well, so... who we get on the first day of the season, etc. A couple of games that we want to earmark for maybe going to away as well, which we hopefully will. So, yeah, a lot to do. We'll obviously bring you some news over the summer. We might maybe do what we usually do, go up to Home Park.
Yeah.
We might film a new intro as well.
Yeah, and at the band we are doing a new intro with. We actually found somebody as well.
For all our thumbnails this season. Thank you very much. They've been brilliant. They sort of make them better every time. So we're looking forward to seeing what you can come up with next season.
And we look forward to our intro with you in the summer.
That's it. In terms of other things as well,
do you remember what you got planned in the summer, Sam?
Yeah, so hopefully a couple gigs as well. I'm going to be at Home Park on the pitch in a couple of weeks for Kaiser Chiefs, so that'll be something Argyle related as well. And the kit launch, all that sort of thing. We'll bring you all that. Don't forget the TikTok as well. We'll keep posting on there too. So lots to look forward to. Although we are a little bit, flat at the moment, we will come again, won't we? For what will it be? Our season. It'll be our 7th season vlogging. Potentially.
No, 8th.
8th season vlogging.
I believe 8th. Yeah.
Something like that. 7th, 8th season. So, yeah, keep it coming, guys. Keep the support coming. I know I've not been on it for a couple of weeks, but, commitments and things have been springing up. But we'll be back strong in August.
Or July pre-season.
July, August to go again. And, so thank you all for your support, guys. Any last words from you?
What are your like targets? We needed that now.
For the video?
Yeah.
Or you think you need to go with that, Rich?
I done one yesterday. So what you thinking?
I'll say 50.
Okay,
50.
That's fair. That's fair. All right, guys. Well, thank you for tuning into Channels on Tour. Thank you for all the support this season, and we will see you in the summer, where hopefully we will have some positive news to bring you.
Green Army.
Green Army.
We will be back.
We will be.
Come on the greens.